The House Transportation Committee for March 10th, 2021 is now in session. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Representatives Boyd, Campbell, Grills, Halford, Hicks, Hurt, Kiesling, Marsh, McKenzie, Potts, Powers, Russell, Thompson, Todd, Towns, Weaver, Whitson, Vice Chairman Hall.
Here.
Chairman Howell.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Any personal orders from the committee? Seeing none, we have a very short calendar today, members, and we'll begin with House Bill 116, item 1 on your calendar. Representative Garrett, you're already in the well. You're recognized, sir. I have a motion and second on the bill, and I believe you have an amendment?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
What is your amendment number?
I have amendment number 4090.
That's what I have. But do I have a motion second on the amendment? I have a motion second on the amendment. Can you explain the amendment, sir?
I sure can, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. The amendment, we cited an actual wrong statute, so we just corrected the right statute in the amendment.
Okay, any questions on the amendment? We're voting to put the amendment on the bill. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. The amendment is on the bill. To the sponsor, could you explain the bill as amended?
I sure can, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. I'm excited about this particular legislation. As you know, human trafficking is a travesty, and we try to do all we can to prevent same. So what this bill does is that if you are convicted of a sex trafficking or human trafficking offense and you have your commercial driver's license will be revoked for life if you are convicted of that crime.
Any questions for the sponsor? We have one question. Representative Weaver, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. I don't like to miss an opportunity to ask questions. Let me rephrase that. My colleague in Sumner County, Representative Garrett. So, is there a story behind this? Could you maybe share with us a testimony of this? I mean, I'm supportive 100%. And then I want you to answer, how is this actually going to be enforced? Who's going to be watching out for the bad guy?
Sure. Thank you, Representative. We appreciate the question. And actually, thank you for that, because I always give an opportunity for our staff that works so well. My legislative assistant, Courtney Kaufman, who is here in the committee, actually saw this bill traveling through the Georgia General Assembly. Georgia's First Lady recognized this as a problem, and they started this in their General Assembly, and actually talked with the Georgia State Representative that carried this bill there, had a good conversation about him. And as you know, Representative Weaver, the crime of trafficking usually happens in commercial vehicles. And so it's important that if this takes place, that one, they can't drive a commercial vehicle anymore. But another thing that this does is that if you are also driving your personal vehicle, while it will not affect your regular driver's license, but if you do hold a CDL, it will actually prevent you from keeping your CDL if you do the act outside of your commercial driver's license. This is actually federal law now, and we have to comply with this law by 2023. The Department of Safety is actually already doing this. So those that will enforce this law is our Tennessee Department of Safety, that they'll revoke your license upon conviction. So that's how we're going to enforce it. I appreciate the question.
Well, thank you for that. And we just came out of a committee where the more awareness that you put, the more eyes you put on this, this issue is vital and important. So I thank you for bringing it here to Tennessee and acknowledging our Department of Safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Any other questions for the sponsor? Seeing none, we are voting on House Bill 116. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Your bill moves to calendar and rules, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Moving to item number 2 on your calendar, House Bill 486. Representative Smith, I believe your timing is excellent, Chair Lady. We have a motion and a second on the bill. And I believe we do have an amendment. Is that right?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much. The amendment is drafting code 4111.
That's correct. That's what I have. We are voting on the amendment 4111. Well, let's let you explain it first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. This is a bill that, while I have a tremendous local issue This will benefit all of our districts if you have a rural district, particularly crisscrossed by railroad crossings. In the state of Tennessee, we need our railroads. They're very important. They create tremendous jobs, but many neighborhoods are becoming what I would consider landlocked or impacted by rail crossings and railroads. When you think about the partnership that has to proceed forward with the development as well as the egress and ingress of commerce, we're seeing some tension there. And in the case of House District 26, there are 6 railroad crossings that even just this morning, I was sent a picture of the back end of a train that had blocked, it was parked, it was blocking a major thoroughfare in our district, and it was preventing cars getting to a school. And relative to what this bill does with the amendment attached upon the committee's indulgence and votes, it will take an existing federal resource. The Federal Rail Authority has implemented and opened a website. When you go to this website, you enter in your geography. It proceeds to the crossing in question. You can identify yourself as a member of the public or a first responder. Once you make that identification, you move to a second screen and you indicate what you see by choices. There's not a lot of room for comment. So there, in the concern that there might be some fraud, it would be very difficult to perpetrate fraud in this particular case because it asks, what it captures the timestamp that you entered the complaint. It asks you what you've seen, if it impacts anything, particularly as it relates to a first responder or if someone was struck. But past that, this is just a reporting mechanism so that at the federal level, the Federal Rail Authority can kind of chronicle complaints. And what this bill does is it partners with TDOT, and I want to give a lot of credit to Brian Carroll, who has been very helpful in this particular case. They've already posted this web link on the TDOT website. They have already begun reviewing complaints that have come in. And they see that they're coming as an aggregate, meaning that it doesn't perpetrate fraud. It shows that people are actually using this website. And on an annual basis, TDOT would take this information and provide it to our leadership and to the public and to the top 5 municipalities. And thank you,
I have a
Member.
motion on the amendment. Do I have a second? All in favor of adding the amendment to the bill, say aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. The amendment is on the bill. Any questions for the sponsor now that you've heard the explanation? Seeing none, all in favor of sending House Bill 486 to Calendar and Rules, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. It goes to Calendar and Rules. Thank you, Representative
Thank you, Committee.
Smith. Down to item number 3, House Bill 402. Chairman Kiesling, you are recognized.
Well, thank you, Chairman. May I remain seated, or would
Please.
you and the committee prefer me to?
Wherever you're the most
Oh,
comfortable,
would I
sir.
appreciate? I'd be delighted to just remain right where I am, sir. You'll notice, Chairman and members, that we have an amendment
Yes.
traveling with this bill.
What is your
That
amendment
amendment,
number?
that tracking code is 4042.
That's correct. Do I have a
Thank you.
motion second on the amendment?
All right.
All right, I have a motion and a second. You want to explain the amendment, sir?
I'd be delighted, and it's going to be a quick explanation. It is strictly a technical error. It is a technical correction in the bill originally. It
Okay.
was wrongly referred to subdivision B instead of subdivision A. That's it.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good. We're going to vote on the amendment. All in favor of adding to the amendment to the bill, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. The amendment is on the bill. Chairman Kiesling, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, we are in the electric age, aren't we? Well, that's affecting our ATVs as well. This bill, as amended, it begins with a weight classification. Right now, this is moving because of the additional weight for the batteries, obviously. It's moving it from 2,500 up to 3,500 pounds. And that also entails a width clarification. And now this will be at 80 inches, and that's from outside of the wheel or tire to the opposite side.
The question has been called, Chairman Kiesling. Without objection, we're voting on, do we have a question? Okay, would you mind rescinding that motion? Thank you. Representative Thompson, you're recognized.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be pretty quick too, but I was just wondering, I read the bill, of course, ATV, all terrain. It's going on a lot of pretty soft surfaces. Has there been any thought or any study on the impact to trails and to the overall environment around the trails as a result of the heavier weight class?
You're recognized, Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. Representative Thompson, the thought has been given to that, and it's true. As we say, it's going to be a little bit heavier. I know but the weight alone, and I've actually put together some thoughts on that. It's not really a determinative factor to the trail, to these trails. I know I've got two grandsons and their parents that make a regular, pretty often, at least once a month, over to what we call Royal Blue over in Campbell County, Dennis Parrish country. And I checked that an 2008 Forest Service study cited traffic volume and the topography, the trail features, and the vehicles themselves, and how they're operated as factors. And it goes on to say it would seem that any trail activity, whether motorized activity such as that in this bill, nor motorized activities such as mountain biking, hiking, and equine, all result in land impacts that deserve proper management. That's true. So that's the only study that I can reference for you. And I don't know that I've answered, honestly, really addressed your question, Representative Thompson. My apology if I haven't.
Thank you. You're recognized.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. Okay, I mean, I'll vote for the bill. I think converting over to electric will probably counterbalance a lot of the concerns I have about the environment. But I do hope that the department will look at potential impact that might have as we assuming it's passed, and that we go to this higher weight class too. Thank you.
Representative Todd, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would only add to that. I appreciate Representative's comments and questions about that and looking out for our environment and in these usually remote locations and want to protect those. I really sincerely, based on my experience in driving these kind of vehicles, the driving style tends to be more of a deciding factor on damage than actually weight or style of the vehicle. Probably even a two-wheel motorcycle would potentially do more damage in certain situations, but it is definitely a valid concern, and I think the folks that manage those areas need to really watch that and then advise riders, because I think generally riders don't want to tear up the resource they're using. And so if they start to see issues, I think they can probably make those recommendations. But a very good point to be made, and I appreciate you bringing that.
Any other questions for the sponsor? Seeing none, we are voting on House Bill 402 by Chairman Kiesling. All in favor of House Bill 402, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Chairman, your bill goes to calendar and rules.
Well, thank you, Chairman, and thank you, members.
Members, that completes our calendar. Do I hear a motion? We are adjourned.